What is up, everybody? Astrocatical here. Welcome to the Astrocastrophe, and of course, today I am going to talk about the Legend of Monkey Island Sea of Thieves release because it has finally dropped, and the reviews aren't necessarily coming in yet, but I have heard some good things about it. But I have heard a few not bad remarks, but things that sound rather disappointing about it. However, the caveat to that, in which I'm going to try to point out here, for anyone who's a fan of the Monkey Island series, is to not look at this and expect so much out of it. And the reason I'm saying that is because Monkey Island as a series is very limited in its context. You barely ever even get a glimpse of this game from a year-to-year basis. It's mostly like maybe every 2 to 3 years you get something out of the series, whether it's going through a different company, a different director, or if it's just a new game entirely on a whole new system like it is with Sea of Thieves. So what I'm saying is the moments we do get Monkey Island are going to be very scarce, and that's the one reason why I'm saying, the installment for Sea of Thieves should be greatly appreciated. The complaint I'm hearing, though, is, well, it takes maybe 1 to 3 hours to complete, and I was expecting something like this. If you watch any of the videos, and I recommend watching them, they released a video today called the Legend of Monkey Island Deep Dive, where it takes a really large look into Melee Island. I mean, this is a big island. I haven't played Sea of Thieves yet, but I know most islands in the game are relatively small. This one is huge, so they've put a lot of work into this, and being that it's free, I think fans should appreciate it, but to also keep in mind that you really aren't going to see. I think one of the reasons people enjoy this series so much is because it's so scarce. It only comes around every once in a great while. If you had it in your face non-stop, like, well, let's say like with the Resident Evil series, like, yeah, it's a great series, but like once it's in your face all the time, you kind of get sick of it. Especially when it goes to like the realms of like Resident Evil 6 or Resident Evil 5, or it has a completely changed direction because it's been using the same, tried and true formula over and over again. So that is the overall complaint I'm hearing about it. Well, I wouldn't say complaint, people are just a little disappointed. But the caveat is they're going to be releasing at least 2 more tales, and it's going to be on a month-to-month basis. So within the next 2 months, you're going to get 2 more tales, and it'll probably be the same length. And if we're lucky, if this does well enough, they will have the initiative to add more to it. They could say, hey, this Monkey Island thing is actually doing pretty good. The fans like it. They want another installment. They could throw another tale in there, which would be phenomenal. Then we could finally get Blood Island, like I said. So when it comes to this, I just say, please be patient and try to work with the company and show them your appreciation for it, because then they might incorporate more of the Monkey Island universe into the actual game. But that's coming from, the standpoint of an optimistic. I don't know how far they're going to take it with this, but the Legend of Monkey Island, from what I hear, the good things about it are actually great. It really ties into the series. It really gives a tilt of the hat to all the Easter eggs and all the gags and all the characters, and everything you ever wanted out of a Monkey Island game is there. So without the shadow of a doubt, this is a Monkey Island game from what I'm hearing. It's just some of it is, it's a different game, a different system. So I guess one of the things is like you have to interact with quite a few puzzles, and you have to carry a few objects around town. And it's not like in Monkey Island where you have like this inventory that you can just pull up, at the press of a button. I think Sea of Thieves is more like you can only carry like a certain amount of items at a time. So people are saying, it's a little awkward, and they're a little upset that the rewards you get for completing it aren't as spectacular as they would have hoped for. But that's more or less for like the diehard Sea of Thieves fans who play this game exclusively for like the awards and the trophies and things like that. For a newcomer like me, just being able to grace myself with the presence of a Monkey Island sort of world in another world is enough for me to want to, you know, praise the game alone. It's still downloading through Steam. I got a little while before I'm going to be able to play it, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. It has a lot of characters from the series, and for starters, it's going to branch off of the story of Curse of Monkey Island. And again, I'm continuously hearing how Curse of Monkey Island isn't canon. Like I said, I have not completed Return to Monkey Island yet, but I'm expecting that Ron Gilbert is just going to take everything at the end of the game and basically do what he did with Thimbleweed Park and be like, hey, it's not real. Nothing's there. You know, so I'm kind of expecting that, even though they did throw characters like Murray in there, even though they did mention Guybrush and Elaine's wedding in the beginning of the game. So that's probably another reason why they decided to go with the Curse of Monkey Island for The Legend of Monkey Island to continue off of that, because Curse, I guess, in the Monkey Island universe isn't necessarily canon, which is awful in my opinion because it's my favorite fucking one. Next to LeChuck's Revenge. LeChuck's Revenge is probably my second favorite one, and then you know, I enjoy The Secret of Monkey Island. I do, trust me, I do. But there's something about it that just doesn't hit me the right way, and I know what I'm gonna say is gonna cause a lot of controversy. I really like Escape. I really like Escape from Monkey Island. I don't know what it is. It's just the change to 3D graphics, and you know, it's just it's still cartoony. And I mean, you got villains like Peg-Nosed Pete, and you're carrying around all these gross prosthetic limbs and all this weird stuff like that. You know, it's not until the end of the game where it starts to really go downhill. But no, I think Escape from Monkey Island is actually my third favorite one. And the Telltale games, you know, I've dabbled around with those a little bit, haven't completed them because it's Telltale. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Telltale, but I know they can put out a good game. I just don't know if it's worthy of being like, oh, this is one of the great Monkey Island games. So I am a big fan of the series, but I'm kind of picky when it comes to the games. So Curse is my favorite, LeChuck's Revenge is my second, and Escape is probably my third one. Because I think that's the order I actually played them in. I think I played... No, I did play Secret before I played Legend of Monkey Island. Anyways, so there's going to be a lot of characters in this installment for the Sea of Thieves. You know, LeChuck, Murray is in it, which is probably one of the best parts, is if you watch any of the videos, and especially the video that Rare put out, the deep dive into Legend of Monkey Island. I recommend you watch it if you haven't got the game yet, or if you're interested. I heavily recommend watching that. It shows footage of one of the items you get is Murray. So you get to, you know, walk around with him, holding him in your hand and everything, and you know, it's the usual Murray rhetoric where he sits there and he just says like all these things about him being so malevolent and evil, and how he's going to, like, you know, destroy the world with his evil wickedness. So there's going to be a lot of that sort of nostalgia in the Legend of Monkey Island. That's what people are saying. That's what the creators are saying, and it seems like they put a lot of work into this. One of the things I'm hearing is just how perfect Melee Island is, and just how spot on it is. And you know, the designers were even saying, like, you know, that making that shift from 2D to 3D wasn't easy, but they certainly put their work in, and it shows. You know, from the videos I watched and from the response from the fans, it seems that it is really appreciated by everyone who's getting involved in this. And lastly, I just want to say this is opening a whole new avenue for fans, because people who play Sea of Thieves and never heard of Monkey Island are now going to be introduced to it. So this might actually pull more people into the Monkey Island universe, which will be good for the series in general. That means we might get more, you know, more influence into the marketing of this series, because it will become more popular, and then they might make more games. But you know, the bad side to that is once things become popular, once they become a little more mainstream, they tend to get a little dry. So that's basically my only concern, if this does sort of bring a little more pull into the cult of Monkey Island, because that's really what it is at this point. It's a cult. my favorite cult. But anyways, that's what I've heard so far. I'm still downloading the game. This is a big game. It's like 90 gigabytes, so it's gonna take like a day. So that will be done by tomorrow, and I'll be able to get into it and play it a little bit. I'm looking forward to Sea of Thieves in general because it's been on my wish list for quite some time now, and now I got a chance to actually, I actually got a reason to play it. And so, like I said, the game takes place after Curse of Monkey Island, and you will be the whole quest is given to you by the pirate lord of the Sea of Thieves, who is, I don't know who he is. He's like this ghost or something like that. He's a pivotal character in the game, in the franchise. He tells you that of this honeymooning couple called Guybrush Threepwood and Elaine Marley, who ventured off to their honeymoon or something like that, and they never returned. But surprisingly, what is her name? Kate Capsize, who is just right around the corner over here, and this is the second time she'll be seen in any Monkey Island game. This is the only one she's ever pretty much seen in. She has something to do with their disappearance, and that is because at the end of this game, you know, Guybrush, more or less, you know, this, I say this multiple times, LeChuck's Revenge is Guybrush at his worst. Is where he does the nastiest, most evil, wicked things to people, and Kate is one of them, and she's just around here. And I'll introduce you to her real quick for anyone who either forgot who she was or they've never played the series before. But this is Kate, and she's going to be one of the more important characters in this storyline, in this tale, and for a variety of reasons. You'll see why as soon as you play it. Guybrush is not a perfect person by no means, and it especially shines in LeChuck's Revenge. So anyone who has not got their hands on any of these games, I recommend starting, you know, straight from the bottom. Secret of Monkey Island, LeChuck's Revenge, Curse of Monkey.
Cruises, sunken galleons, sightseeing.
Hi, my name's Guybrush.
I'm Captain Kate Capsize. Like to charter a ship? I do weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs, you name it.
Could I have one of those leaflets?
Yeah, okay.
I'm interested in chartering a ship.
Great. Not many people want to charter a glass-bottom boat around here. Pretty soon I'm off to Fat Island to try my luck there. But let's talk turkey first. My fee is 6,000 pieces of 8.
Do you give credit? Don't you think 6,000 pieces of 8 is a bit high?
No, I don't.
I don't have that much.
I guess you'd better find some more then, huh? 3-hour tours. Glass-bottom boat.
So that is Kate Capsize, and you will be seeing her. It's going to be the second appearance she makes in this series. She was absent for any other Monkey Island game. She might have been mentioned, but she has a definite history with this series and Guybrush in general. And if you know the Monkey Island series, you know that Guybrush really screws her over. So we'll be seeing more of that in The Legend of Monkey Island. So that is out today. If you have Sea of Thieves, check your game out. You should have an update in there in the next tale. And I'm hoping to have it downloaded at least by tonight and being able to dive right into it. Might be a bit short, but hey, we got 2 more installments coming within the next 2 months, and I will be looking for it. Anyways, I'm Astrocatical. This is the Astrocastrophe, and I will see you next time.